My dear fellow listeners and viewers, today's message is about the fact that we cannot feed off an empty bucket. And when I talk about not being able to feed off an empty bucket, I'm not referring to self-care. I'm not referring to the video I've made earlier where I talk about the importance of us taking care of ourselves so that way we can take care of other people, which is true too, of course. But the second part of not being able to feed off an empty bucket um, is us being mindful and very careful when we are advising other people on anything. For example, I'm not a mechanic, so I cannot give any kind of advice when it comes to fixing a car or anything along that line because it is not my area of expertise. It can be very dangerous actually when we do not have the knowledge in a particular area and we're trying to advise other people. Very, very dangerous. Um, if you don't have knowledge when it comes to mental health, you cannot advise somebody anything along that line because you don't have that knowledge, right? When I say you, I'm referring to all of us here. All of us have our own specific, skill set, and so we have to be very careful as to what advice we're giving, but also us, the receiver of the message. We have to be very careful as to who we are receiving, advice from. That is a key point because you cannot receive advice from somebody who has absolutely no knowledge in that area and kind of really follow along with what he or she is saying. It is a very dangerous thing. And because it's so easy with social media, things, slide across easy. We are not doing our homework. We're not, doing all the extra pieces to make sure that this is actually, good information. We're actually getting it from, good source. We're actually getting it from somebody who actually knows and have that credential. This is so important. You know, um, Not too long ago, a fella who didn't even finish, high school was saying to me that, he's offering counseling. That is a dangerous thing. And so I wish him well, and I hope that he stays in school and be the best version of himself. But we have to be very careful and very mindful when we are giving advice and when we are taking advice as well too. So if we're giving advice, we have to give advice based on you know um, the knowledge we have, and when we're taking advice from people, we have to make sure that they have that solid knowledge as well too. So something to keep in mind. And so that's my message here. So this is the second video when it comes to we cannot feed off an empty bucket, meaning that if we don't have, just to summarize here, if we don't have knowledge in a particular area, how can we actually give advice in that area, right? Just like if a religious leader, for example, if they don't have full knowledge, on a particular, topic or and whatnot, they cannot be able to, they wouldn't be able to deliver, something really good, right? That's one of the reasons, by the way, as of today, no religious leaders, have reached out to me as of today to explain to me some of the question I ask because they don't have that knowledge, right? And so that's a dangerous thing. So do take my message here seriously. For those of you who willingly share information, make sure you're sharing based on the knowledge you have. And when you're receiving as well too, make sure you actually take it from people who actually, have some good solid background knowledge, especially when it comes to certain important pieces like mental health and things along that line. Because things, it's so easy these days where people just pop up, information using their phone and they're given all kinds of advice and so on. And the problem is people don't know any different and people fall for it. And that is very dangerous. And so that is my message here today. As always, please do not take my message here personally. I'm trying to give back. I'm trying to pay it forward. If this message means nothing to you, just ignore the message here. But do know that we are saying things and we are trying to reach out to people so that way people can pause and think before they do and say anything. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. My name is Narine Dat Sookram. Wishing you a great today and even a better tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon.